Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher. That's Eric over on this side of me here. Hey Eric.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Acolyte night tonight, which is cool. It's cool doing these episodes on Tuesdays because we do the episode and then we jump right into the Acolyte, right? So it's
Yes.
cool like
Yep.
that. But
So we got a couple of predictions for tonight episode. So we'll see how this goes.
What do you think of the last episode?
It was a far better episode than episode 3 for sure.
Right.
For me.
Yeah, because you were saying you didn't really like the witches too much. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
But this episode was pretty action packed and unexpected, death. But it's all what it is. It was a decent episode.
Yeah.
Did you expect?
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you expect the death that we got?
No. Who do you think who do you think's under the mask? Because it seems like they're setting up Chimera to be the guy under the mask, but at the same time, I'm also thinking it might be too easy. Like that might be like they might be. He's probably like the red herring, right? Like they want us to think it's him, but it's too obvious.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's way too obvious, but it kind of makes me feel like it's Chimera because he was literally right there on that planet. So
right, yeah. So Patrick Poptography says, "Let's go." Hey, Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
He says, "Big night." Absolutely, it is Acolyte night. As far as predictions go for this episode, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, that goes into my first story. But
yeah, okay. We can wait till your first story then. We'll get to the predictions after. So I'm thinking that because the last episode was called Day, I think this one's going to be called Night, just because there was that shift. There was that shift from day to night in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think that shift in power because the Sith Lord showed up, and now we're going to see that shift in power, and we're going to see him like. Probably, I think he's going to kill a few of these Jedi, if not all of them, right?
Yeah.
So
all these unknown Jedis that kind of just joined the band, I think they're pretty much
gone. What do you think about the little not leak the character that showed up?
Talking about
last week,
Basil,
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Oh, Ki-Adi-Mundi. Yes,
yeah.
boy,
How are you feeling about that? Because like a lot of people were complaining because they're like, "Oh, this ruins George Lucas's Star Wars." It ruins everything because of what he says in Phantom Menace. Like, what are your thoughts on all that before we jump into our stories for this evening?
Well, a lot of people are mentioning that in the legends he was born in 93 and he shouldn't even be alive, and then supposedly they changed the legends no longer
it's not canon, right?
Not canon. So but for her to kind of push that in our face, I think that was kind of bold for her, to say, hey, look who we brought. So it's kind of like, and then he didn't age much at all. If you notice, his age, and that's supposedly a big time, jump, like 100 years. So it's like, and he hasn't changed at all. So that's kind of like, she's really pushing the limits, okay, of how supposedly they were supposed to, like in legends, live like 60 to 90 years old, 90 years pushing it, and then for this character to be over 100.
Over 100 now,
because I mean, look at him. He looks like he's at least in his 70s at that time. So I don't know.
Yeah. See, I'm okay with it. Like you said, the age of 93 was in Legends, and so I'm okay with that part. Like, it doesn't really change anything for his character, I don't think.
Yeah, 93 BBY was when he was.
Yeah, because there's always there's like there's levels of canon, right? And the 93 BBY, his age when he was born, that was like apparently that was on like some sort of playing card, like one of those card, the gate card games that you play, like the role playing games or whatever that you play. It was on one of those, and that's down. That's like on one of the lower levels of canon, considered canon. Like the top ones are like movies, TV shows, games. Those are like the top 3 things that are considered canon.
And then
but what about the
changing it.
line? Yeah, I mean that's fine as well, like because they're updating it. It's like the regular Wikipedia. It gets updated when stuff gets updated, right? So that's fine. People are making a big issue about that. What do you think about the line in the Phantom Menace where he says the Sith have been extinct for over a millennium? Like, do you think him showing up in the Acolyte affects that, or not at all?
Well, I think if this character is anything, it has to be a dark side user, not Sith, not considered Sith, and that's the only way that I can see that they can move forward with this. Because considering him a Sith, Ki-Adi-Mundi, knowing this cover up, so I'm not sure if that's going to jive.
Yeah. So I'm kind of on the other side. Like I think this character is a Sith, but I don't think the Jedi come to that conclusion yet. Like they didn't even mention it. They mentioned some sort of other faction. They mentioned it could have been like a fallen Jedi. Like they didn't mention the word Sith, so it doesn't break canon at all. So
yeah, if they stay like that, use the verbiage of it not being Sith.
Yeah, then I think it's fine, right? So
yeah,
but a lot of fans being like to complain and stuff. We know that we're part of this fandom, and a lot of the fans like to complain about minor stuff. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, though, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Not long to wait. That half an hour, less than half an hour. Jedi Lex says hello. Hey Lex, thanks for hopping in. Patrick says May gets killed by by Sol, and then Osha leaves with the Sith Lord. That's a nice prediction. That'd be kind of cool because we saw May kind of like she changed her mind. She was like, "Oh, you know what? My sister is alive. That changes everything." So I can see that happening.
May be too important.
Yeah,
but who knows?
Yeah. If we can let it go that Luke kissed his sister Leia, we could let the age issue with Ki-Adi-Mundi go. Yeah, absolutely, right? Because like I'm sure that was a big thing. Like I wasn't around. Like I was just born like in '83, right? So I missed all that stuff. But I'm sure back in the day when that came out, when that first came out and was revealed that it was Luke's sister, I'm sure a lot of people probably had issues with it too. So
most definitely, I'm sure.
The difference is there was no internet back then. So but
the Dark Ages.
Yeah, right, the Dark Ages, yeah. But let's jump into our first article because there's a few juicy articles and news and rumors and stuff. So the first one I found, it was on Star Wars Newsnet. It's about the director of the new Rey Skywalker movie, and I think we had a rumor of the title being A New Beginning from last week when we reported on that. But the director, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, has spoken a little bit about joining the Star Wars universe as the director of the new upcoming New Jedi Order, starring Daisy Ridley as Rey. And this I'm excited about because myself being a sequel fan, I'm excited to see where this goes. I know you're not such a big sequel fan, but you didn't mind them, right?
Well, I didn't mind the first one.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed them all. I enjoyed them all, so I'm excited for this. And if she does it right, then I think it could be really good. But she was saying in an interview on I think it was X, like Sirius FM or whatever. Sirius, where is it? Yeah, she commented on Sirius XM. So she was talking on there. There's a video clip. All the articles will be linked in the description below. But she says sometimes you walk in the footsteps of people and giants who've created worlds. And in the case of Star Wars, George Lucas's world and the filmmakers who have walked in his footsteps have set this world that they want young viewers to walk into and have an understanding of that world. And then she goes on a bit, and then she said, and working with Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and the team over there, breathing life into characters that everyone loves and has fallen in love with, and finding new characters that the next generation of moviegoers will fall in love with. But then she spoke about talking with some pretty big names over there. So she said she said that she had conversations with J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, and then, of course, Dave Filoni, who's a big part of the Star Wars universe now. Dave, we know, is the chief creative officer over at Lucasfilm now. So she's had talks and conversations with the three of the biggest people in Star Wars, right now, especially Dave and George, right? So, and she speaks very often with Kathy Kennedy and Carrie Beck and Simon Emmanuel. So she says she thinks the team is really taking time to make sure that we do justice to telling the story of Rey, and she thinks that what Rey stands for is something. We've seen this wonderful journey that she went on in episode 7, 8, and 9, and now it's like on to the next adventure, and how do we create a world and adventure that we want to take her on. So I'm really excited about this. Like I said, being a sequel fan, I enjoyed the character of Rey. I can see this being something that ties up a bunch of stuff with the Mandoverse. They could bring in Grogu when he's older. They can bring in characters like Cal Kestis, which we do have a little news article on later in this episode here. And, other characters like Ezra, who could be possibly still alive at the time. So we could see Rey kind of unite all these other Jedi that are scattered around the universe, right? That are still alive or haven't been trained yet, right? So, but what are your thoughts on this?
No, I think the concept it's a good one, because we kind of need to know what's going on, further in their development as a Jedi Master now, and her students and everything. I think that's pretty interesting. It's just for me personally, I just she kind of upset a couple of people with her comments about making men upset, or uncomfortable, right? But if she keep focus on what she's supposed to do as a director for fans, right? Star Wars fans, right? And that's men and women. If you're trying to bring people to the seats, maybe should keep her comments or getting people upset to the minimum. I know that every director has their own point of view, and that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
That's the way, people are have their own way of thinking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So maybe she has some things in her past that kind of makes her like that, but keep the fans at least engaged and happy. I think that's just basically what we're asking for as fans. Don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of you want to upset us, but at the same time you want to to fill the seats. So
yeah, it's kind of weird because like all these directors and actors and stuff, like when you're a celebrity like that, you kind of have to be like watch what you say. You're allowed to have your own opinion, but because you're in the spotlight, if you say something out of context that can be taken out of context, and then you're gonna have a bunch of fans angry at you, like similar to like she has right now, right? And same with Leslie Headland and stuff like that. But yeah, no, she's entitled to say what she wants, but at the same time, like the fans kind of have to maybe not look too deep into what she says too. Like just wait till the project comes out and then kind of give it a chance too. No, like everyone is entitled to their own opinion at the same time. So
at the same time, I'm kind of, like I said, interested in seeing where the story's going to go. And, if they're going to bring Grogu, Cal Kestis, and some of these characters that we know, so that'd be kind of pretty cool if they were to do something like that. But they've done stuff like that where you expect things to happen in a way, and then it just doesn't. So I won't be surprised that in that way. So
JT Lovecraft says, "Sup guys?" Hey JT.
What's up, JT?
And Pod Racing Palpatine says, "Hello there." Hey Pod Racing Palps, thanks for hopping in.
Yep. All right, so this goes on to let's get into my first story here. Star Wars is definitely going to kill off at least 5 Jedis, right, in this episode. I mean, it says soon. Story says soon, but I'm going to expect it's going to be tonight.
Right.
All right, so let's get on to the story. The Acolyte is more than likely going to kill off at least 5 Jedis in the near future. Honestly, I'm thinking it's going to be in tonight's episode. The Acolyte's episode 5 promises to feature some major lightsaber combat, though it's likely to see Jedi's brutally outmatched despite having greater numbers against their powerful new quote-unquote Sith. Following Kalnaka's murder, there's no way that all of these Jedis will survive. It's a safe bet that at least 5 Jedis will meet their end in this episode. They were just introduced in the Acolytes episode 4, and not yet have been given any names except for in the credits. So killing off multiple Jedis at once will certainly have a testament to the power of this new dark side user. That said, one can imagine that Osha will survive, having been thrown to the side while the Sith faces the team of Jedis. Likewise, it's also safer to assume that Master Soul, Jedi Knight Yord Fandor, and Padawan Jeki Lon will survive to continue the show's ongoing narrative. So I could definitely see that this is going to happen quite possibly tonight. I'm not sure it's going to be. It's kind of like they're going to stretch it out for 2 episodes, but this is going to be a pretty good episode for the fact that this is going to be it's going to be a lot of lightsaber combats, and I'm always down for some lightsaber combat.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this, Chris? You think we're going to get these 5 unknown Jedi's death tonight?
Yeah, I would agree. Because, like you said, the Jedi in this picture, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, right? There's so at least 5 of them will die either this episode or in the next episode. But I'm thinking this episode as well. I'm thinking Yord is probably disposable at this point too. Yord or Jeki, like one of those 2 could probably die. Soul, I don't see them killing Soul. But yeah, the majority of them for sure, I think will die because we know nothing about them. They didn't give them names in the episode and stuff. And to really make a big impact of how powerful this the Sith apprentice is, that would make sense for a bunch of them to die.
So I'm not sure if they're going to try to link. Okay, so as I saw in the last episode, they were trying to make it a romance or kind of like a interest in Osha and Jeki. So I'm not sure if they're going to kill her off just yet. That'd be kind of rough, but maybe Yord probably meet his doom tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, Yord is probably pretty disposable. Pod Racing Palps has a good point here. He said we saw Palpatine take 3 of the 4 Jedi in Episode 3.
Like
the Sith are indeed powerful, right? Yeah, exactly. They're like the red shirts in Star Trek. Those 5 Jedi are expendable. Patrick, what are you doing using words like that? You're not allowed to say the other Star franchise here in this Get out of here, Patrick. Yeah, no, but I think it would make sense if they did kill off those Jedi, though, for sure. So my next article, comic book news here. It's about the fans that hate the Acolyte. So I guess apparently it's got the lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes, Star Wars audience score. Fans are voicing their opinions on the series, and they don't like what they see, especially with the 3rd episode. And we see stuff in the comments on social media, on YouTube, on pretty much everything that people are talking about the Acolyte or anyone that has to do with the Acolyte. There's like 90% of the comments are negative comments saying they don't like the people associated, they don't like the Acolyte, the show itself, they don't like the acting, whatever. So the Acolyte series, we're 4 episodes in, and the Rotten Tomatoes score for the audience score is 14%, and then the Rotten Tomatoes score stands at 84%, down from 94 from the first 2 episodes. But yeah, the 14% dropped from 16%, so it was already pretty low, 16%, but it dropped down 2 more. So it's down to 14%. So it's pretty low. So people don't like this series. The The Acolyte now has the lowest Rotten Tomatoes audience score from Star Wars fans, lower than The Last Jedi at 41%, and the 2008 Clone Wars movie, 40%. For comparison, the scores for the previous Star Wars shows are as follows. Ahsoka was 86 Rotten Tomato score and 69% audience score. Andor was 96 and 86 audience score. Obi-Wan was down to 62 audience score. Book of Boba Fett was 53% audience score, and then Mandalorian was 78% audience score. So everything has been above 50% for the last series, but this one seems like it's definitely not doing too great. So it doesn't change my mind at all. I've been enjoying it. I've been really liking the stuff I've been seeing. Even the third episode, even though it wasn't, I didn't think it was as strong as the other three that we've gotten so far. I prefer the action myself, but the third episode was jam packed with some new lore and stuff, so I really enjoyed it still. But what are your thoughts on these low Rotten Tomato scores? Do you think it's going to affect getting a possible second season if that's how they're ending things on a cliffhanger for a second season? Do you think it's going to affect that? Well, like, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, honestly, I don't think there's going to be no second episode. I mean, second season of the show. That's just me thinking. But yeah,
Right.
no, the numbers are tanking big time. And I thought 16 was bad. I like 14.
14%, right?
14%. No, that's yeah, this is pretty much take it out of his misery. Now, just
do you agree with the do you agree with the rest of the audience? Are you disliking it because or are you enjoying it so far?
No, there's some things that I like. Seeing more Jedis, and then this dark side user, I'm kind of interested. But episode 3 was definitely one of the ones that I'll give it the lowest score. But no, for the most part, it's a decent show. I won't say it's bad. It's okay. It's not as terrible as 14%, but
yeah,
I'd say it's 55-60%. It's just me. I mean, I think this maybe if this episode is a really good one, like action packed and stuff like that. I just what I want to see, just like you said. I want to see some Jedis and some dark side users. I don't want to say Sith, but I'll fight it out. So
yeah,
I kind of want to see what this episode's going to give us.
To put things into context, so like how would you rank or compare this to the Book of Boba Fett? Because I believe in the Book of Boba Fett by episode 4, we're still seeing flashbacks of Boba, with the Tuskens and the sand. We got the like a bantha riding on the on that, and we have the Power Ranger scooter bike gang
that
there.
Was terrible.
So like
terrible, but
how would you compare the series so far next to Book of Boba Fett? Like I think this has been better myself.
I like the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it was
oh you like
bad.
you like the Book
corny.
of Boba Fett?
Yeah, it was corny, but I enjoyed it, man. Boba Fett, that's my guy.
Yeah, but do you like the Acolyte better than the Book of Boba Fett, or you
no
enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett better? You like the Book of Boba Fett better? Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Line in the sand, Eric. Line in the sand. But I mean, you're kind of partial to Boba Fett, right? Like
I'm partial.
He's your favorite character. So
yeah.
They could do a holiday special with Boba Fett and have him chilling with his family and watching TV for 2 hours, and you'd be okay with it.
Blue eggnog, yeah.
Yeah, right?
No, Boba Fett's my guy. So I mean, I prefer the Book of Boba Fett. I'm saying that, yeah. Book of Boba Fett more than the Acolytes.
Yeah,
but
I'm enjoying the Acolyte more than the Book of Boba Fett. But I guess we'll have to see.
This is not the holiday special, so
I know. That's what Palpatine said. Pod racing pops are lower than the holiday special. That's crazy, right? They should do a musical episode that always wins fans back. Could you imagine a musical episode? Soul and Yord and Jackie just break out into song.
Yeah, right. No, I
right?
can't see that.
That's
All right,
funny.
so on to my next story, and this is going on to who's to blame for this. Um, so the Acolytes has achieved the dubious honor of becoming the worst rated Star Wars television series, descending to a 14% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. However, the question remains the same: who is at fault here? One of the writers of The Acolytes, Episode 4, Claire Kitchell, has raised eyebrows by subtly pointing the blame at Dave Filoni, a prominent figure in the Star Wars universe, via Culture Crave, mentioning that Filoni gave notes to all the scripts and ultimately approved them along with Lucasfilm's team, implying that he may be partially responsible for the show's decline in quality. The controversy has sparked discussions among fans, with many interrogating the direction of the show and its impact in the Star Wars legacy. With fans divided and tensions running high, the show's fate remains in the dark. So my take is, to be honest, I'm unsure where I stand at this point because him being Dave Filoni being the CCO, he has the final say on where the show is going, and his position and power of supersedes any of the writers and the directors of the show. But at the same time, he shouldn't be placed blame on him fully because the project was already greenlit before him accepting the CCO in 2023 when the show was greenlit in 2022. So I don't want to say, I think what they already said was, okay, we have a budget for the show. The show is already greenlit. We'll go ahead and proceed on with it. But I think he does kind of have almost the final say on how the show is supposed to go.
Yeah, he gets the final say of do they change the scripts? Do characters have to change? Does this make sense with the rest of Star Wars lore? Like he controls all of that now.
Yeah, but I don't want to say
to my understanding.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
but I don't want to say. Definitely don't want to say Dave Filoni's at fault.
Yeah,
but I think you should have really got to them and say, hey, look, we have to change things up a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe that's what we should have done behind closed doors.
So my thoughts on this, because whoever it was that's blaming it, you said, I think we said the writer, right, from the
for
the 4th episode or whatever,
for Claire Kitchell.
Yeah, so I don't know if she can put all the blame on Dave Filoni.
No,
like she should take some blame, but here are my thoughts. Like so the fans, when all these fans are complaining about the episodes and saying, oh, it's Leslie Headland's fault, it's so and so's fault, and then they're like, oh, Dave Filoni is the GOAT, he's and Dave we trust. We hear that all the time. Dave's everything gets checked by Dave. Like he's the one that makes all the final decisions. And even though the show was greenlit before he came into his position as chief creative officer, he still made the final decisions on the scripts and stuff after they were written, right? So if you don't like the Acolyte and you're complaining that it's Leslie Headland's fault, it's not all her fault. It's some of it's goes to Dave, in my opinion, if you're a fan complaining about it. But for the writer to put all the blame on Dave, that doesn't make sense to me. Like she should take some of the blame. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, so, I'm kind of with you on that. He's supposedly like the buck stops with him, basically.
Yeah. So like, if you don't like the Acolyte and you're just blaming Leslie Headland or whatever, or you're blaming the writers, really, like you should put some blame on Dave Filoni. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, I enjoy Dave Filoni's stuff, but like he's given the final say on all this stuff. So just as a fan, just kind of think that through,
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's a hard pill.
Yeah. Right. It's tough. I get it. Like I said, we're in a weird toxic fandom, right? So
No,
it's just
no,
yeah,
no. It's emotions, right?
yeah,
It's love for Star Wars, and then you sometimes if it don't go your way, you have to speak out, and that's where I totally understand where some of the people are, coming from,
yeah,
because as fans, we want to see the best of Star Wars, but and you have people with directors, writers with agendas, and you're like, okay, well, this is not where I wanted it to go, but at the same time, it is what it is. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It is what it is. Be respectful. Be civil. Don't attack the creators and stuff like. But moving on, because we got some. We haven't heard anything about Andor season 2, but we're finally hearing some stuff about it from our main guy in Andor season 2, Diego Luna. Diego, during a spotlight panel at Ace Superhero Comic Con 2024, Diego was asked about the second season of Andor. Uh, I'm very sober today, so nothing is going to come out. He joked before sharing that it's special. It's very special and will feature more familiar faces. So he said, and quote, I can tell you Rogue One is coming, so there will be characters there that you will recognize. There will be a lot of cool stuff for those who love Rogue One. This season is going to be very special, and it's going to be fascinating to go straight to Rogue One after watching this second season, because you will see Rogue One from a different perspective. I promise you that. And he said it's fantastic. Diego Luna said so. The only thing I can tell you is that what happens at the end, it's the world upside down. That's the only thing that you don't talk about in an interview. But here we are. Here we all know what the end is, which is Rogue One, right? So I can tell you the one thing: Tony Gilroy is a fantastic writer. He's created amazing characters that we got to meet in Andor season 1. It's going to be a very rich second season because all of those stories matter today, and it is a true ensemble piece. It got very complicated in season 1, and everything has to get resolved. Every story matters. So
Mm-hmm.
I like the sound of this. I really enjoyed Andor season 1. For the most obvious reason, we've got 12 episodes of the series rather than just 8 episodes. So I'm really excited about this news. What do you think?
Oh, dude, I like the way he's expressing himself. He's
Yeah,
sounds like he's super excited. He's proud of this, and this is gonna like lead right into Rogue One. To me, it's the best Star Wars, Disney Star Wars movie that was ever put out thus far. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Rogue One was just awesome. And then for everything to line in or head to Rogue One, he said you could just
yeah,
pretty much watch the show and then watch Rogue One. It's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, he's super
yeah.
excited and it sounds like he's proud of this. So I can't wait. I enjoyed uh, I enjoyed oh my
Andor,
god,
Andor season
Andor.
1.
Yes, Andor season 1. So yeah, a little weird. Yeah, some aspects were like, okay, this is weird. This is not typical Star Wars, but hey, I enjoyed it. I loved it. So yeah,
Yeah,
so this is all good news, and like I said,
yeah,
he's super psyched for this, and I can't wait to see how this is going to be.
yeah. Pod Racing Pop says Caravan of Courage is peak Star Wars. The Ewok television movies. Did you watch those growing up?
I did, I did.
Uh,
Yeah,
watching those now, they're pretty
they're
awful.
pretty bad.
Watching those now, yeah.
Matter of fact, last week I was started watching which is the first not the not the first Ewok movie,
Oh, Battle for Endor.
Battle for Andor, and I couldn't watch. I just got like 30 minutes in, and I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad now. So
But it's peak Star Wars, huh?
yeah,
That's hilarious. All right, so next story is Star Wars. Bryce Howard, Bryce Dallas Howard confirmed she's directing an episode of Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is expected to debut in the on Disney Plus later this year. The show was created and executive produced by John Watts, who is best known for directing MCU Spider-Man films. Watt is expected to helm an episode of the series. It was previously reported that the Oscar director Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneidert will be helming an episode of the Skeleton Crew, in addition to David Lowery, Jake Schreier, and Lee Isaac Chung. During a recent interview with Collider, Bryce Dallas Howard confirmed she'll be directing an episode of Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew won't be Howard's first time directing a Star Wars project. She helmed 3 episodes of The Mandalorian, Chapter 4, Sanctuary, Chapter 11, The Heiress, Chapter 22, Guns for Hire, in addition to the 5th episode of the Book of Boba Fett, The Return of the Mandalorian. Howard's father, Ron Howard, also helmed Solo, a Star Wars story. In fact, one of the earlier Bryce Howard episodes of The Mandalorian was paid tribute to her father's film, Apollo 13.
Yes.
So these were all pretty good, very good episodes that she directed, except for Guns for Hire. That was pretty bad. But for the most part, all these other ones.
You didn't like Guns for Hire?
But no.
That's the one with Jack Black, right?
Yeah. I didn't like that.
I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed it.
The Return of the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett episode was awesome, right? And yeah, so these were all good episodes except for the one that I just said.
Agree to disagree. I think I enjoyed it. I thought it was it wasn't maybe not up to par with the rest of this season, but I still enjoyed it. It was like kind of like I guess it whimsical. Could be seen as a filler episode. It was whimsical, definitely. But I enjoyed seeing Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd in it.
And Lizzo.
And Lizzo, yeah. I mean, she didn't do too bad of a job being what was her name? I can't even remember her character's name in that. But Jack Black played Bombardier, I think, wasn't it? Captain Bombardier or something like that? Yeah. No, I enjoyed that episode, but
that was an
yeah. No, some of these episodes, the rest of them were definitely solid episodes of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah,
Christopher Lloyd's character. He said he'd love to come back and reprise his role.
I'm glad that Bryce Dallas Howard's coming back to direct some more Star Wars. I think
she's
I hope she gets the chance to
director.
Yeah, but I hope she gets the chance to direct a Star Wars movie. That would be fantastic. That would be amazing.
Should have got Charmaine Obaid's Star Wars film.
I don't know. I'd see, because Charmaine Obaid Shinoy, she directed what was it? The Marvels, the series, or Miss Marvel? Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed that, so I'm excited to see what she does. But Bryce Dallas Howard definitely deserves to get. She deserves a chance to direct her own Star Wars movie. So maybe episode 11 after the Rey movie, right? Or maybe some other time period. But I think she deserves. She deserves it.
I think 10's going to be.
You think 10's going to be it? Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
They're going to have to do something else, something further in the future, but yeah, they can't just continue the Skywalker saga.
Pod Racing Palp says, we need a young Palpatine show showcasing my rise to the ranks of the pod racing circuit. Right? I mean, hey, you know what? That's an idea there. Give Bryce Dallas Howard her own show, even like a young Palpatine show. All jokes aside, give her the rise of Palpatine, right? Like see Sheev Palpatine and Plagueis doing their thing, right?
Yep.
Because we're slowly bridging these gaps between the Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic, and Phantom Menace, right? So Acolyte's 100 years. Plagueis and Palpatine will probably be like 30 years before the Phantom Menace, maybe 50. because Palpatine's a regular human. He's
Yeah,
he's
he
not
was young
born yet.
too.
Yeah, he's not born yet. So maybe like 30 to 50 years before the Phantom Menace. Like give Bryce Dallas Howard the series to do show us that time period, right? That would be pretty cool.
What time period was this exactly?
I would assume Palpatine's alive like 30 years before the Phantom Menace, right? 50
Yeah.
years, 30 years
Yeah.
ish. Yeah. I'm not really good with the time periods here, but yeah.
Oh, me either. But all
Either
of the
way,
three,
give Bryce her own series or a movie. I think she deserves it, and she showed it with all of the episodes.
I want to see what Plagueis was capable of doing, you know?
Yeah.
And then
right?
a young Palps taking him out,
Yeah.
killing his master.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be kind of interesting story to tell.
Yeah. So speaking of other Disney Plus series, there's a rumor that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order's Cal Kestis could be getting his own Disney Plus show, which that would be incredible. Star Wars fans have been treated well as of late with the recent confirmation of Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Obi-Wan Episode 6, ending the series above a high note, more undoubtedly on the way. But the Star Wars Jedi series will probably get a threequel eventually. But the new rumor suggests that Cal Kestis will also be getting his own live-action Disney Plus show at some point in the future. This makes sense, given how much Disney wants to leverage its streaming service for popular brands like Marvel and Star Wars. So, what are your thoughts on Cal Kestis potentially coming to the Disney Plus?
Oh, that'd be awesome if they were to bring him into. I mean, he's the age, you know. That's him.
Yeah,
nobody else can play him.
And they have the actor, right? They have the actor who plays him in the game. So you bring him in to play an older Cal Kestis. Like I said, like we could even see him in the Rey movie. But like if they did a series, like show us a series with Cal Kestis in that time period leading up to the Rey movie or something, right? Like show where he is at this point.
Tomb Raider style, kind of like you know, kind of awesome if they were to do that.
Yeah.
No, it'd be awesome, man, because it's like nobody else should be able to play him, you know, like Star Killer, you know, only one person can play the character.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, if they were to bring it, you know, I think that'd be awesome. So many fans of Cal Kestis out there. So I mean, I never played the game, to be honest.
I haven't played the game either, but no, the character just it's his character is very intriguing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they make it a show. Or did they say it was going to be a show, or it's going to be a?
They're saying a Disney Plus show, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like 8 episodes, that'd be awesome.
Yep. That would be awesome. All right, so on to my next story. Basil. Okay, so Acolyte's adorable alien live action canon debuted 45 years in the making. Star Wars fans are loving it. What do you thought about this character, Chris? As soon as I thought
he was pretty adorable.
He's adorable.
And like the scene where Osha is sitting on the ship and Pip sprays him with the whatever I'm assuming is like oil or lubricant or something, right? So
yeah,
that was pretty funny. But no, he's a pretty adorable character.
Pretty adorable character. Yeah, I think they were trying to go with that. So the Acolyte says,
for sure.
Yeah, they have enlisted a new character in its cute creature club with the introduction of Basil, a Tynan tracker that fans can't get enough of. Basil is an alien tracker who assists in finding Kelnaka in the jungles of Kafar. Basil is performed by Hassan Taj. The character's charming features resemble those of a beaver and otter, with the prominent snout to sniff and search for people and the belongings, and a visor to allow him to hone his scent-related tasks. The clever creature also has a deep Star Wars history, which is he is a Tynan, an alien species that dates back to Brian Daley's 1979 novel Han Solo's Revenge, meaning that his live action canon debut is 45 years in the making. FX creative supervisor Neil Scanlon said, "We thought about how we can include some of these things that were not only cute and adorable, but also showed signs of a bigger sort of character makeup. A character like this is much more engaging," Scanlon said. "This will only work for fans if they feel like there's an element that they can give a cuddle, or this character can be friendly. It can be important. It can be an important part to think of in the Star Wars world. So, cute and cuddly characters are essential in the Star Wars universe. So
Yeah, and we saw that with the Ewoks. We saw that with the Porgs. Yeah, I mean,
Grogu.
it's true. Grogu. Yeah, Grogu.
Yeah,
exactly.
So this fits in right in there, because this is a very cute character. And then when he was screaming right there, you see his face. Oh, adorable.
Yeah. So I'm loving these memes too. The memes that people post on Twitter. Baz Bash member card. Can't wait for the president of Basil Brigade after tonight. We must protect Basil at all costs. I don't think Basil's going anywhere. He's not going to die.
No.
Acolyte spoilers. Basil was suspiciously missing once the Sith pulled up. That's awesome. No, he's a great new character, a great new addition, and I like that they pull this stuff from Legends right back into canon. Because at one point, this novel was, I'm sure some people considered it canon back when there was only the one movie, right? Because this book came out, 1979?
Yep.
So people considered that canon at the time, back in 1979, till probably after Return of the Jedi came out. But no, it's nice that they're bringing the stuff back into canon now, right? So now this alien is a thing. It's awesome. I'm really enjoying what Disney is doing with what Disney is doing, because they've been doing this with sequels too. They bring stuff in from from Legends and make stuff canon as well. So I'm enjoying that. That's great. Pod Racing Palp says Basil is Smilo Ren. That's funny. What are your final thoughts though for this night's episode? Who do you think is under that mask?
I'm gonna have to say Chimera. I mean, it just seems like that's gonna be him, because he's just strangely always in the right place, or at this on this planet. So I don't know. And he's always kind of like guiding, right?
Yeah,
guiding May. So the Master's not gonna like that.
Yeah,
so,
and I think you mentioned it might have been last week or maybe the week before that. In the second episode, when he meets back up with May, he overpowers her.
Yeah.
Right, and May's already well trained. Like she's no like Sith master, but she's well trained.
Yeah, and she looked surprised. He's like, "What?" She was like, "What?"
Right. So, yeah, I think it's the obvious choice. I think it's the obvious choice, and I think it's the choice I'm kind of leaning to, but I kind of want it to not be him. I want the show to kind of like blow my mind and be like, it's actually this person all along. It wasn't Chimera. Just so it seems too, yeah. So it just seems too easy.
Yeah.
To be him. I saw other people saying it could be Mother Coral because you didn't see her body in episode 3, which would put her in a position on Brendok where she could have been the one to save or May when she fell. Right?
True. That's true.
So there's the title of tonight's episode. It is titled Night. So we're
nice
day to night. So nice. I like that. Yeah. In a dense jungle, the Jedi are put to their test when they confront a rising darkness. So I cannot wait. 35 minutes long, but I mean, hey, so far, I don't know. How are you feeling about all these run times? Because so far, we had 2 episodes that were about 45 minutes, and everything else has been 35-ish minutes.
No, I'm not. I'm okay with the shorter run spans on the show.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It get to the point.
No. As long as you have as long as you're filling the episode with enough to tell the story.
Like last week.
Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? If it's long or short. Like if it's a longer episode, make sure there's not much. Like make sure the pacing isn't slow, because that kind of takes away from it. But I feel like everything's been pretty good pace wise, anyways. For me,
I think last week they should have just added 3 more minutes and got that fight between Kelnaka and the Sith Lord, or the dark side user.
Maybe we'll see a flashback. Who knows?
Hopefully.
But looking forward to tonight's episode 5, titled Night. So should be interesting.
Already past the halfway point, right?
Right, we're past the halfway point, so we got another 3 weeks to go. So takes us into mid-July, and then hopefully we get an announcement of something else. But we will be here every Tuesday to give you updates to any news and rumors for our beloved Star Wars franchise. As crazy as this franchise is. So yeah,
it's a lot of love. A lot of love.
A lot of crazy love. crazy stupid love. Yeah, indeed. But thank you everyone for watching this week's episode. We will see everyone next week, and enjoy the Acolyte. We'll see you guys next week.
Hit that like button. Peace.